Broadway, especially Broadwaycon, has still persevered. Blizzards and strikes and nothing can stop Broadwaycon, not even a pandemic. And it's coming in April. And we have got the head honcho for Mischief Management here, Melissa Anelli, to talk about what to expect. And also we've got Vicki Light and Shira Margulies, who have been going to every single one. I mean, the three of us just go crazy, and we can look forward to this such anticipation. So tell us what's going on.
That's so exciting to hear. I think it's our 6th year of BroadwayCon, and you're right, there have been, our first year had a blizzard. This year just escaped the beginning of the pandemic, and now we're still in the middle of the pandemic. We've been through the range of things that BroadwayCon has been through in its short history. It's a lot, but you know what they say, the show
go on.
You know.
Yeah. So what do we have?
I want to kick it to you. What are you guys what have you had time to peruse? We put out a preview of the schedule. There's a lot of good stuff coming. What has tickled your interest the most?
Shira?
I'm always looking forward to seeing people who are sending in either lip syncs or performances, especially younger people who are interested in, you know, getting into performing and kind of introducing themselves to us. So I'll definitely be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I love the game night, and so glad to see that all the regular stuff is still going to be there. So a lot of the competitions, but then the cabaret and the game night and all that evening stuff too.
That was important to us, and that's that's the hardest thing to kind of do, but we wanted to make sure that it may be a different year, we may not be able to get together in person, but the kind of warm blanket that is BroadwayCon is still there. That's what we wanted, to make sure that if you have been part of this community or you're being introduced to this community in this event, you still understand that this is not just a series of, you know, amazing, awesome, interesting seminars and panels, but has that kind of, we get together in our silly and our love for this beautiful art form also together. So it will be different. It will be obviously not ideal with everybody having to be apart, but it's being put all together right now, and it's turning really exciting.
And you still got cosplay. I noticed that people, they did this for Halloween at Theater for New City too, where you could do your little costume bit for like a couple minutes, and
right.
So that's cool that you can still get that, because I mean, the first year there was this couple that did the from Sideshow. They did the Hilton twins. It was so. I mean, they were amazing. Some of those costumes are incredible.
Amazing. They really are. I've seen so many incredible. Last year, somebody dressed up as Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
And Little Shop of Horrors. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
With the plant.
It is one of my favorite things to do at BroadwayCon, and it's one of the privileges you get as the quote unquote head honcho, whatever you want to call it, is that you do, if you want it, you can say, I need to prioritize a little time so that I can just go enjoy. It is actually a key part of my job. I need to see what's happening. I need to see how people are reacting to things, and I need to kind of absorb the feeling of the thing. So I take that also with a bit of privilege, of boss privilege or leader privilege, whatever it is, to walk around, and my favorite thing is really seeing what the cosplays are. The Star to Be contest is one of my favorite things that we've ever started. Star to Be is sort of our American Idol Star Search. It's for undiscovered talent, and actually we had a semi-discovered person last year, Luke Islam, who people know from and you know, we went into it saying like, well, this person's kind of partially discovered, but they haven't been on Broadway yet. They aren't like a known name. We have to give them the same shot, and they ended up winning. It was just impossible not to award it. You know what I mean? I'm babbling, but those are my favorite bits, and I'm glad we're able to.
If I could just toss in a thought here. All of you know exactly what BroadwayCon is, and what is BroadwayCon? So what is BroadwayCon? What is exactly?
Thank you, Jan. And how did you get it together in the first place? How did you come up with the idea?
Would you like me to? Okay, I'll answer. So Broadwaycon is an annual theater convention, a theater fans Disneyland, as it were. And so I've been creating fan conventions since 2007 with my company, Mischief Management. Our first convention was based around Harry Potter fandom. We're just a big bunch of Harry Potter nerds who decided that we wanted the biggest fans of the thing to create the thing. So that's how we started creating these fan conventions. And then I was at my longtime friend Anthony Rapp's apartment. I've been friends with him since I met him through being one of the major fans of Rent back in, I say major, there's no morality distinction between fans. There were a distinct set of fans who saw Rent a lot back in 1996, 97. And I was sort of in that group. And we started talking online and became friends, and have stayed close since through the years. And so I was at his house in 2013 watching the Tonys. And the 2013 Tonys, I think every theater fan has stamped on their heart. You had the Neil Patrick Harris crazy opening.
Mhm.
And then at the end, you had Audra McDonald with Neil Patrick Harris doing a rap that was written during the show by Lin-Manuel Miranda, all these things together. So as literally a second after Audra McDonald dropped the mic, which as she does at the end of her performance, my then business partner sent me a text and said, has there ever been a Broadway convention? And yeah, 7 words. With those 7 words, I knew it had to happen, and I knew we had to be the ones who did it. So literally in the middle of 2013, I just walked into the Hilton Hotel and said, I run an events company. We want to do this event. I can't tell you what it is, because I was so afraid that it was such a good idea that nobody had done yet. And the second one of the bigger companies heard about it, I was sure that we would get beaten to the punch, and we needed time to develop the idea. So I literally contracted, it said like winter event 2016 was on the contract, because I would only tell the sales rep what it was. I wouldn't let her put it in any paperwork. And I went up to Anthony at some point, obviously before we signed the paperwork, and said, you know what I do? You've been to one of my events. What do you think about this? He had just been to one of my events. I said, what do you think about this, but for Broadway? And he took one beat and he looked at me and said, whatever you need, I'm in.
Wow.
And that is how we co-founded Broadwaycon together.
And but it's not just like cosplay and you have panels. You have had panels on diversity before anyone even thought about diversity in the theater.
I hope not. Oh my goodness.
No,
I know what you're saying. I know.
Yeah, but serious talks. I mean, it's not just fun and games. It actually has some serious issues. And you also bring up people we never even heard about, like intimacy directors and people from China doing things. I mean, it's like remarkable how you get all these, and how do you come up with all these different panels and come up with ideas? And then, of course, Anthony Rapp puts together these amazing reunions from You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and Rent, and we did Hamilton and In the Heights. And
yeah. So I think what you're touching on is one of the blessings of being a fan and having fans be the determining factor of the event, is that we care so much about these little things. And a lot of times when you don't have the fans really, or people who are as fanish as we are and as detailed as we are really in it, they're not paying attention to things like intimacy directors. They're thinking, who's the starriest person I can get on a stage to attract the most people? And that's important in a way. Of course, it's important to have Lin-Manuel Miranda come in with the In the Heights cast, and it's important to have Kristen Chenoweth surprise people. But that should be the fluffing on top of a really strong foundational base. And something that we care about deeply is diversity in the theater. We don't proclaim to be experts on it at all, but we know that we want to share our space and make sure that this platform that we have can be used to further the very, very, very necessary goal of making Broadway more accessible, more diverse, and more equitable for all. So that was from the very beginning a goal, and we're consistently challenging ourselves to get better at it. And then we just literally sit around and think, what's something that you saw happen in a show that you really want to hear people talk about? So when the Deaf West Spring Awakening was happening, we really needed to hear about that process. Talk about accessibility. I just used the word hear very thoughtlessly, and that's one of the things that we're trying to change. One of the things that we've done is we used to call everybody who came and spoke on a panel a speaker. But if you really drill that down, it's an ableist term. They're panelists, because not everybody speaks. And so right. I had that same reaction when my programming director said it to me, and it was like, how have we been doing this all this time and we didn't realize? So again, it's, so when I say like, I actually just thoughtlessly said this Deaf West panel, we wanted to hear about it because it's in such the vernacular, when it should be, we wanted to know about it. We wanted to unpack it. Anyway, this is all part of the process of making sure that we create a safe and welcoming place for everybody. And we hope to get better at it year in, year out.
And you also have sneak peeks, but are you going to be able to? In fact, I have a surprise here. From last year, one of the most popular events you had was 6.
Love those ladies. Ugh.
I mean, the line for that one, that was like, I think and they closed just as they were about to open. So do you have, can you do any sneak peeks this year like you usually do? We get like a heads up on most of the shows.
It's so hard because the producers and the press shops and everything are so rightly focused on getting up again. And they don't want to make promises they don't 100% know they can keep. So what you're referring to, not only the 6 sing-along, which is that event, which was so incredible. What a study in including your audience 6 has been, but also the first look, which is a very special project to our hearts, and that we wanted to make sure, the Tonys is really the only place that the general audience in the world can see what's been happening on Broadway all at once, but you have to have been nominated for a Tony Award in most instances. And so at Broadwaycon, we take that necessary qualification away and just say, do you have a show that's coming in? You have a slot on our stage, do whatever you want. And we go to the shows and say, please show the world. And in the future, hopefully, now that streaming is becoming more a part of life and hybrid events are becoming more what we go towards, we'll be able to stream that not just to people who are there. Again, trying to make things more accessible. But yeah, one of my very favorite things is to show off what's coming in this beautiful, beautiful theater world that we have.
And you have mainstays, like you have Leslie Margarita, and this year you got Melissa Erica doing a bunch of stuff. Alexandra Silva is always there, and Harada, and Jen Colella, she sometimes does game night, and Ben Cameron is there. So are we going to have
Ben Cameron?
Can I tell you about Ben Cameron? So the first year of Broadwaycon, as we know, well, I don't know if people know, but the first year of Broadwaycon was the weekend of Jonas, the big blizzard in New York in 2016. When we put our event in January, everybody said to us, why are you putting this in January? I said, well, we're looking for a time that the theater calendar isn't otherwise occupied with the Tonys or with Christmas, et cetera, et cetera. And we're looking for a time that if this thing does get really big, it can be a tide that lifts all boats. So when does Broadway need that? January. So we took the chance. And of course, the first year, we had one of the most record-breaking blizzards ever. And we all ended up sort of stuck in this hotel together. And all the programming that we had spent all year working on just got flown out the window because panelists couldn't make it and certain rooms were taken and everything got changed. And one of the people who we were only relying on for a thing here or there, who was around and said, I can help, throw me in, coach, was Ben Cameron. And by the end of the weekend, everybody was like, this guy Ben Cameron's amazing and he's funny and everybody loves him. And he has been the MC of Broadwaycon ever since. And he will be hosting the festivities this year as well.
He has such energy. I'm always amazed, like by Sunday night, and he's still going. And then he goes to do his own gig later that night.
He's the best. He's great.
He's an amazing combination of a pro and a fan, and just the biggest heart.
Yes, absolutely.
He's a love. And
that's the thing. Like he's not the biggest Broadway star you've ever heard of. It's not, that's not it. For us, it's like, are you connecting with the fans? Are you somebody that they feel warm and safe with? And with Ben, that seems to be
100%. Yeah.
Jennifer Tepper's another one, I think, that kept things moving along too. That
yes. I remember texting her like, hey, can you cover this? Can you do this for an hour? I would see her in the hallway and just be like, bye. I gotta go moderate this thing. I didn't think I could moderate. She's just, Jen has been game from day one of BroadwayCon, and she was part of the original. We had a little group that would brainstorm right in the very beginning, like, what is this event? And she was part of that group, so she's been key to it since the beginning.
So, Vicki and Shira, do you want to ask anything, or because I've been dominating?
Sorry, I've been chatty.
I'm sort of curious, where are you holding this? I mean, you have all of these people coming in and what have you, and at the moment, I mean, we're doing everything online, and but we're beginning to get to someplace. Is there a physical space where you're going to be this year, or?
No, everybody's recording everything from their own places. There's too much. It's just too risky. We just can't. If anybody was infected because of the activities we were doing, there was a time when we thought maybe we could do like a hybrid thing where we recorded from a theater parts of it, but there are so many restrictions that are necessary, and frankly, as an event company, we don't have the funds to it would be very expensive to do it that way. And so we are just gonna have a wonderful, hopefully the last Zoom convention, and get excited for 22.
I think Zoom is with us to stay, and it's not just Zoom these days. We have StreamYard and all of these other software that's actually being designed for the arts, for people putting on the stage. Zoom is just a business program, but
totally.
Right.
And I'm curious about Industry Day. What exactly is Industry Day? That's the first day, that's Friday.
Yes, so Industry Day is a way so BroadwayCon is for the fans. It was created for the fans, will always have the fans directly at its heart. But we wanted to make sure that the industry people who come and are part of this event have a chance to be part of it, talk to other people about connecting with their audience in this specific fandom way that BroadwayCon talks to. And we work with Situation Interactive, who's an incredible company led by Damien Bazzadona. They also do TEDx Broadway and a couple of other events. And it's really intended to be for people in the industry and people coming up in the industry to get a little bit of time to reflect on what it means to have genuine engagement like the kind you see at BroadwayCon, and how we can take all this energy that we see and use it to expand and better the industry that we're all a part of now.
Will any of this like be live? I mean, like in Zoom, you have that chat room. So
right.
Will we be able to chat back and forth with everybody?
Most of it's going to be pre-recorded because so much can go wrong with the live production. However, there'll be one or two things that are live. We are still doing Blizzard Party Line, and that will be legitimately live. We will be calling people in. We will be able to see the chat. It will be very funny. Anthony and I are getting together to kind of make that dream list for who we're going to call soon. Party Line, actually, speaking of the Blizzard, Party Line happened because we weren't supposed to have one of the rooms that we had in the first year, and then the blizzard happened, and that whatever event was in that room got canceled in the main stage. So we had the main stage the whole night, and we had all these people trapped in the hotel with us. So we said, quick, we got to think of something quick to do. And somebody walked up to me and said, what Broadway person do you like have on your phone, like dialed into your phone? And I was like, I can call Jeremy Jordan, I can call Darren Criss. And they were like, great, I'm calling this one, I'm calling this one, I'm calling this one. And we just sat on stage and called people. And one of the people that we called was Patti LuPone, who said something to us like, what's happening over there? Are you hungry? Should you have something to eat?
And actually, she had just ordered pizza.
Yes. And Anthony started chanting, send us pizza. And the whole audience started chanting, send us pizza, Patty. Send us pizza, Patty. Now we do it every year. It's where we call people and surprise the audience with who it is.
Well, one good thing, because the Broadway theaters were shut down, all the Broadway people had to be stuck there. So they were stuck with the fans. And the thing is, the stars, so-called stars, they're so accessible.
Yes.
It's like everyone's on an equal footing. It's like everyone has just this one love of Broadway and theater, and that we're just theater geeks, all of us.
Yep.
I don't care if you're Lin-Manuel Miranda or us. We're theater geeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are any of you ladies actresses? I mean, do you also act?
No, I worked in theater doing tech for a number of years off Broadway.
That's more
But
acting, I think.
born and bred Manhattan, seeing shows since I was 3 or 4. So
I did high school, college and stuff, and then had to get a real job.
I did high school and college also, but I could never, I knew acting wasn't in my body. Does that make sense? Like,
Oh gosh, yes.
you had to have like a comfort with your body that I just could never quite wrap my brain around, but I knew it was part of my life forever. But yeah.
I mean, that's just it. This isn't just for, in this, like you said, this is really for people that love theater.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
how do you come up with these panels in the first place and get the people to be in the panels? Because I mean, you must employ like hundreds and hundreds of people.
Don't I wish? Right this year we are a team of 10-ish this year total. We used to be more than that, but pandemic. And so this year the programming crew is 2 very hardworking programming managers. I have a programming director who was with it since day one, but she has taken her next job opportunity. So it's myself and the 2 programming managers coming up with, and they are filling out all the panels. Luckily, and not just luck, but as a result of all my team's hard work over the years, people hear from Broadwaycon and welcome that contact. So when we reach out and say we're from Broadwaycon, they get really excited and they want to share, and it's a really warm and welcoming space. So we have a lot of good luck when we say, hey, would you want to come do something with us? But a lot of it is just asking, like having a wish and asking a friend. I will say to Anthony, one year we called I forget who, pick starry person here, and I'll say to Anthony, do you know this person? And he'll say, no, but I know somebody who can connect me. And it's all interconnected. The whole theater world knows each other. The week after we announced Broadwaycon the first time, before the first one, we got easily 200 emails from different organizations, actors, people just all over the place saying, oh my God, I need this. Can I be a part of it? And it was such a vacuum just being filled with excitement and love that it set us up really well to be able to do what we do. And hopefully we just keep making people happy and feel like they have a place on our stage, and that will then yield more fun for fans in the future.
I can say what I love about it is the young people. I feel so old when I say that, but like the teenagers. I so would have wanted to do this when a teenager, and you just see the joy in their life, and they're dressed up and they're with their friends and they're running from panel to panel and sing along to sing. So I love seeing that. Is there going to be an opportunity? Because I'm sure they're going to be dressing up in their homes for them to send in pictures and create something with that.
Yeah, we're going to be asking people to send in what they're doing, how they're celebrating, and hoping to highlight it throughout. And if not throughout, we'll do afterwards. We're the main 2 days of streaming is the 17th and the 18th of April, but virtual's with us to stay. So I think you're going to be seeing more content and more throughout the year fun happening from BroadwayCon. So we don't just think of it as this one weekend, but it's also going to be available to view most of it whenever you want. So,
and now from BroadwayCon to that indie influencer, Jay Michaels, take it away. I wonder what he's going to talk about this time around.
This is Jay Michaels. This is Indie Influencer. This is High Drama. Speaking to you from the doors of the future. Theater is reopening. Yes, it is. And starting next time, I'm going to tell you about all the new live productions that will be happening. But let's take one last shout out, if you will, to those theaters that never closed, that just evolved. Fresh Fruit Festival and Doug DeVita have taken one of Doug's most popular works, The Fierce Urgency of Now, and turned it into a radio play. It's currently running on the Fresh Fruit site. The play is also being shopped as a screenplay. Evolving. Infinite Variety Productions is doing the same with Ashley Edelman's play In Her Footsteps. It is also a radio play, but it's on PBS. That's right, WLIW Radio. The play was touring the globe when this all happened. Now that it's on radio, guess what? It still is. Look and listen on WNET. Katha Gentis is hedging all bets with a series of really compelling 2, 3, 4 character pieces that she is putting on stage when she can. But in the meantime, she made them into indie films. Leading the pack is Pooling for Paradise, a witty road trip comedy chock full of laughs, commentary, and millennials. It was to be done at the Emerging Artists Theater, but it became a Zoom. And now that's running simultaneously on Channel I with the film version that is touring theaters. Check her out on Fox Meadow Films. Ripple Effect Artists scored big with their film, Here Comes Frida, a 4-character dystopian drama about what happens when climate change really changes. They are now beginning their next work. They too are on radio. Check them out on their site. Shira Alon has created a canon of 2 and 3 character works, perfect for the stage. But until then, oh, you guessed it, check her out on IMDb. Tony Anthony is pulling a Charles Dickens and speaking to audiences about his celebrity book series. The first event was a smash at the Yonkers Public Library. He'll be coming to a town near you when he can. But until then, he'll be Zooming. Until Keith Brown's volatile play, Shadow Kids, can open at the American Theater of Actors, you can catch the video version on Channel I. And you know how theater companies travel to schools to perform? Well, Susan Egan is presenting a brilliantly directed production of Ibsen's A Doll's House, currently for invited audiences. I was assured by the brilliant director that it will soon be available for all audiences. Did I mention the director is brilliant? Because he really is. Even Broadway World got into the act with a cyber playbill called Stage Mag that serves as a brilliant marketing tool as well as a show bill. Call me about Broadway World advertising discounts through Channel I. This is Jay Michaels for Indie Influencer on High Drama.
And I want to thank our guests and Broadwaycon, and it's going to be next weekend, and the High Drama isn't on, so you have something to do that next weekend, April 17th and 18th. Our next show is April 24th, and who knows what surprises we'll have then. So until then, yay!
Theater.